Bungalow Bill here. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and playing a draft on Magic the Gathering Arena instead of playing from the depths. I don't play that much on Arena, so as you can tell, I am in the esteemed Silver League. However, I've been playing Magic the Gathering on and off for about 20 years now, and while I'm certainly not the best player, hopefully I'm not particularly a terrible player either. That said, there will be some arena punts, there will be some normal punts as well, but hopefully I can get through this fairly cleanly. Now, if you normally enjoy From the Depths content on this channel, well, Magic the Gathering might be a little bit up your alley. I sort of find deck construction and brewing in Magic the Gathering really scratches the same itch for me as boat building does in From the Depths. However, due to the state of the arena economy, I can't really brew the way that I'd like to because it's too expensive, and really, paper suffers from a lot of the same issues if you want to brew in a competitive fashion, although I often don't when playing against my friends. So let's take a look at what we have here. I'm not going to first pick a Ganjo. I am trying to build a collection, so I do care a little bit about rarity, but you're not going to play a lot of the Ganjos in a deck, and I already have a few, so I can pick something else. Other than that, there isn't anything really inspiring to me. Narika's fine, but I don't really like the Samurai synergies that much, and I find it very hard to use her value without just dying. Touch the Spirit Realm, pretty good. The channel on it, actually relevant. And in the green colors, there is some recursion from enchantments from the graveyard, and there are creatures with ETB value as well. I mean, Jukai Preserver is not a great example, but it is some. So I'm kind of a fan of it. I've actually liked using channel abilities on enchantments. So let's take that and see what else we have. So this pack is coming in from someone who has taken the rare. And what do we have to work with? So Moon Circuit Hacker, pretty fantastic. I haven't put together a blue-white deck since my first deck that I played in the format. I did get 7 wins with it, so I am fine with that. But there are other powerful cards here to work with as well, in other colors. Greater Tanuki is not something that I really want to second pick. The Long Reach of Night is fine if you can survive long enough to use it. So is Virus Beetle. I'm not a big fan of Covert Technician. Some people seem to take it really highly, not a big fan. I don't want to go red-white, so if I am taking the first pick, I don't really want to take these. And I don't think I want to change colors just for a Sokensen Smelter. So for me, it's sort of between the Long Reach of Night, Virus Beetle, and Moon Circuit Hacker. I'm just sort of going to take the uncommon here, although perhaps I should be taking the Hacker instead. Okay, well, I'm probably not going to brew with this. I am kind of tempted to take it just to have a rare. Likely this just plain isn't good enough for me to run in a draft without really building around it in some way. Okay, so right now, the black's not super inspiring, the white's not super inspiring. And there's Voltage Surge, which is fine. Actually, it's a good card, but I haven't been picking much synergy for it. So I'm sort of being pushed into blue or green for a little bit. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Modern Age. Commune with Spirits is pretty fantastic, and I do like green in general in this draft. I find that the floor is pretty high on it. So I could be convinced to take Commune with Spirits instead. I'm going to take the Modern Age, though. Alright, I'm being somewhat punished for that, as I really like Season of Renewal, and I think it's a fine card. Being offered another Long Reach of Night, there is a limit to how many of these that you can play in a deck before you just die. Because this doesn't necessarily do much to the board. Your opponent can just... Well, if your opponent doesn't have anything on the board, it doesn't do anything. Or if they do have something on the board, they can just discard a card. I'm not really big on any of these either, and I don't just want to straight pick another color. I might not even play 2 Long Reach of Nights. I am going to pick a second one to cut black off a little bit harder, I think. Alright, so I'm feeling a little bit better about white and blue now. Perhaps I should be taking Virus Beetle and pushing harder into black. I am kind of a fan of both Tamiyo's Completion and Repel the Vial. I think they're both fairly good removal spells. I'm probably not going to go heavy into 3-color. The fact that I've been given Mothrider Patrol, which is fine, means Repel the Vial is a decent pickup. Unless I have a recursion method, I'm not actually as big on Virus Beetle and Spirited Companion as some other people are. Because the card quality that you get from them, I find generally isn't replacement level. Right, because you can draw a land with Spirited Companion and your opponent can discard a land. Okay, this pack isn't great outside of green. Well, it's not even great inside green. I'm a big fan of Fangit Shigeki because outside of the Life of Toshiro, it almost always trades for a card. And with Season of Renewal, well, it's pretty fantastic. If I'm going into white and black, I'll probably have some ninjutsu value, and I have gotten good late game value out of Mothrider Patrols in the past. I'm not big on this card though, I don't like it a lot. Perhaps even going Golden Tail Disciple just to wall me off while I play Long Reach of Nights would be fine. Kami of Terrible Secrets. This punishes me a little bit for filling up the 4-drop slot so much and for not taking any artifacts. And white's not terribly big on artifacts, so it's not going to be as good in a black-white deck. I could play Blossoming Sands because there's been a lot of good green coming, and take that instead because of how full the 4-drop slot is. And, well, I'll do that and see how it goes. Okay, so this one, if I take in the Kami of Terrible Secrets, which perhaps I should have, it's a card that you can just sort of run as many of them as you can, Ancestral Katana would feel a lot better. I don't think I'm going to have the synergy to equip it cheaply, though. I'm just going to take a Jukai Preserver. It does come in the 4-drop slot. I'm not sure I'm going to play anything else in this pack. This is when the draft is really starting to feel bad, because I basically have a Moon Circuit Hacker or a Dragonfly Suit. Alright, this is when we take a rare. Although, Itsune Ace, I mean, it's playable, right? I'm probably not going to play the Dragon Kami Reborn. So at this point, well, I'm probably not playing Chainflip Centipede either. Not that it's that bad. At this point, my white looks okay, but everything else is kind of a disaster. It's fine to some extent that I have 2 lands and that let me play off color. And I mean, that's kind of playable. It's not terribly exciting. This is a rare that I haven't really been picking because it's just not good enough. So Season of Renewal is great. Given how strong my white is, I'm kind of incentivized to keep picking it and to try to get into some other color. I mean, whether it's black or green or blue, I don't really know yet, which is kind of a problem. The green here is pretty good, but I don't know if I'm playing green. So that's sort of a problem. And there's only one good white card, so I'm just going to take it and see what happens. Okay, the green here looks pretty fantastic. And what am I giving up? I'm giving up a Moon Circuit Hacker, which is real. That's a real sacrifice to be making. These aren't going to come back around, and I'm not that sad about it. I don't really care about Goshintai of Boundless Vigor unless I have another Goshintai on the battlefield, and the black and white ones are the only ones that I care about. So if I had the white one, I'd be pretty excited about this, but these probably aren't going to wheel. I wish I didn't see these all at the same time. I mean, these can't recur each other, but Come on, man. I have 0 of these as well, so, you know, taking more of them is kind of great. Because there's none of them in my collection is what I meant. So, at the moment, I'm not sure I'm going to splash Long Reach of Nights. I'm not really sure it's worth it. Probably take Fade above a second Repel the Vial. I'm not interested in the rest of the green. Undercity Scavenger's fine, but I feel like I'm more likely to be green-white than anything else at the moment. I was kind of hoping to go into black, but I haven't seen the premium black cards that I really need to be that excited. Blue-white might be better than where I am right now. Oh, I find that, okay, this is just kind of funny at the moment. I'm not taking it, but maybe I'll wheel it. I mean, the last one went super late. So, do I have any synergy with Geothermal? I mean, I can pick up Shigeki, but Shigeki can pick up itself. I can pick up the Long Reach of Night if I play it, because it's between this and Fixing, right? If I take a third piece of Fixing, I'll be able to play the Long Reach of Night. I'll take Geothermal Kami. I've already got 2 pieces of Fixing. This might not be a good idea. 17 Mentor isn't as bad as some people make it out to be, I think. Right now, I don't really have great synergy with Boon of Beseju. I would actually prefer the Channeling Enchantment over this right now. Not that this is bad, especially because there's some synergies with this that I can pick up that just kind of kill people. It's fine the way it is, but I'm taking the Tales of Master Sashiro. Okay, well, I'm not going to wield the other Go Shintai, but this is the only one that I really feel is worth playing. So I'm going to pick it, and I'm going to pick it over Uncharted Haven, which means we're probably going down these, which means that we have some playability issues. I'm probably not playing a second one, though. Right, and this leaves me with, I can either play Bamboo Grove Archer or Intercessor's Arrest. I find that these fill reasonably similar slots, although Intercessor's Arrest, well, neither of these really answer everything, because, you know, Go Shintais get around them. But you can fetch this one with a Shrine Steward, and Shrine Stewards are really going up on my pick list at the moment. Alright, Season of Renewal is exactly what I wanted. This pack isn't that interesting to me. Right, I mean, this is just a hand sandwich, right? In my deck right now, it might as well be a Banalish Unicorn. So, I don't know. Click on it, won't be that excited. I'm almost certainly not playing this. I mean, like, this is the most playable card here. I'm probably not playing black, though. We'll see. I might be too thin on playables. Oh, and we wield the Jungle Hollow. Alright, the chances of me splashing black are much higher now. Although, currently, this is a super sloppy draft. It's not my sloppiest, right? My first draft, I was picking cards without even knowing what everything in the pack did, and I went 5 color. So... Alright. So, this is a big problem, because I can't splash this. Right? It's a mythic. It's one that I'd probably have fun brewing with later. This is the correct pick for my deck. Because this is going to sit in my whole board. If I wasn't streaming this, I would pick Tezzeret, 110%. I'm going to take Beseju Reaches Skyward instead, and it hurts me a little bit. It really does. Again, I don't really like aggro decks as much, which is really where March of Swirling Mist shines. And I'm sort of prioritizing things that I can pick up with Geothermal Kami for value. Beseju Reaches Skyward doesn't get there, Fall of Lurkanda certainly does. They both get there with Season of Renewal. Twisted Embrace, I'm not going to splash double black. I might put in some of my other black cards. Twisted Embrace is not getting in there. I do like Repel the Bile. I'm not big enough on it to pick up a second one right now. Alright, we are very heavy on enchantments. Jukai Naturalist seems fantastic. If I'd been seeing Reckoner raids earlier, I'd probably have stayed in black. I mean, you could play a lot of Fade into Antiquities, but I want some 2-drops. Shigeki is probably not going to block well enough for it to really stall fantastically for me. It can ramp, though. And it can kind of fog one creature. Okay, so I actually have some decent choices here. I can gain a slightly better ability to splash black. However, that's really just going in for the long reach of night, and my curve is pretty high at the moment. I'm not going to play Careful Cultivation. Selfless Samurai is very tempting for me, because I really need to fill up the 2-drop slot a little bit more. My curve is a little bit too high at the moment. And I still haven't picked up anything that synergizes super well with Boon of Boseiju. It wouldn't be terrible. I'd probably get +4/+4 with it. I still need more playables, though. I want to get rid of Seven-Tail Mentor. Okay. So what I'm liking here is Commune with Spirits, Wanderer's Intervention. If I had a Shrine Steward or a second Season of Renewal, I would really like Favor of Jukai. You can get a lot of value out of this card, and killing your opponent's flyers is pretty good. Bamboo Grove Archer is also there. I would kind of like early game removal, despite the fact that Commune with Spirits might actually be better. The way my deck is built at the moment, I'm kind of just worried about dying. Even though I find that this isn't a format that you simply die that easily in. Alright, so I don't have any synergy with Containment Construct. The only time I ever see this is third pack. I'd really love... Well, I do have a Modern Age, but we're not playing it. I would love to really milk some value out of this some game. A lot of this not terribly exciting to me. But Imperial Oath, we need... Despite the fact that my curve might be a little bit high, we could use more top end. As I said, Narika, not super exciting. It has synergies with Moth Rider Patrol, which makes it not terrible. I kind of want to pad out my 2-drop slot more than my 3. I think Era of Enlightenment is fantastic. This is potentially a mistake. Narika might just be better, although I often just sacrifice Narika to just play something from my graveyard. Right, I chump attack so much with Narika, and this deck probably is not an exception. I don't really think that I have the tricks to do that. We'll take another Geothermal. Late Modern Age. Like, I haven't been seeing that much blue, and then I see a Modern Age this late. It's just kind of weird. I mean, like, this might save me an uncommon wild card or something, or a common wild card if I do some weird brewing. I'm not going to play anything in this pack. Okay, so I have enough playables that this will probably not happen. But it's not bad. But come on, you gotta have some draft value sometimes. Not sure what this is doing here. Not sure what this is doing here. Not sure what this is doing here. We are in silver. Okay, yeah, so, like, the drafts are a little zany sometimes. I have no artifact synergy. I'm probably not playing 3 Repel the Files. I'm not playing an Ancestral Katana either. Okay. Well, now we have to build a deck out of this pile. Probably should have taken Tezzeret just for value. This is my reward for it. Am I that excited about it? No, I'm really not. I have no Shrine Stewards, and I have no other Go Shintai. So, in my last draft, I got a lot of value out of this. I won so many games because I had the green and white shrines, and I had 2 Shrine Stewards, and I had 2 Season of Renewals, and my opponents would keep killing them, and I would just keep bringing them back. And if your opponent can't kill you, and you have a Go Shintai of Shared Purpose on the battlefield, you're going to win eventually. I'm not playing 3 Repel the Vials. So, what else about this? I'm not super excited by Sunblade Samurai, but it's my only other card in the 5-drop slot. Whether or not I play two Shigekis, or whether or not that's intelligent, I would have to imagine. Right, I'd have to imagine this is. How many other legendaries do I have? This. So, it's pretty much anything back from the graveyard. I'm not excited about Moth Rider Patrol. I'm not saying it's fine, but the power level here is pretty high. And the other thing is, do I want... And things like Selfless Samurai, I'm not getting a lot of value out of it, but, you know, maybe there's a chance I'll get some life out of it. There's a chance I'll save another creature. Maybe I'll be able to trade it off. I would rather bring my curve down a little bit, so I'm mostly looking at my 4-drop slot. And... well, we can... we can look here, but we're not sitting... well, we're sitting kind of high there on the instant and sorcery count. That my removal count's sitting a little bit high, and it's probably better for me to go down Repel the Vials rather than Fade into Antiquities. Although... oh, and two of my sorceries are creatures, right? I'm relying on these and Shigekis for the late game. Playing an Imperial Oath, then bringing it back with a Shigeki and playing it again is kind of backbreaking, especially about that stage in the game where you're getting 2 cards back. And split pretty evenly on my mana symbols. If I had another Commune with Spirits, I might go down a land. Something that worries me about this deck is that my card selection is not amazing. And for me, that really makes or breaks decks in this format, is being able to scry lands to the bottom or discard them. So, 1 Era of Enlightenment. And 2 Imperial Oath. Scry late game is more powerful than Scry early game. So, I mean, pretty good. But when it comes down to it, well, the other thing is I could get rid of a Go Shintai. This is a very powerful card. It's a very slow one. I think that I'm going to beat most decks in the late game due to the double Shigekis. Although, the fact that I wasn't in green, didn't think I was in green, when I passed the Fang of Shigeki and one of the Season of Renewals, I think is really biting me here. But... right now, I'm mostly tempted to just go down 1 Repel the Vial. It's a little sad seeing that I'll have 2 of them in my sideboard. And that I have a really good ability to splash black, and some reasonably powerful black cards, and I'm just not putting them in. I mean, it's certainly more powerful than Jukai Preserver. What I'm most worried about with this deck is just getting run over by a bunch of dorks. And a Long Reach of Night is not good for stopping that. It really isn't. However, it can really grind people out. Like 2 Geothermal Kamis and 2 Long Reach of Nights would really grind people out. Well, I feel like I didn't quite get there with this deck. I'm going to play this for now, and maybe I'll go back and do something about it later. But I'll try it for a game or 2 first. I don't feel like the draft went terribly as much of a mess as it was, because it really wasn't that clear to me that I wasn't going to be able to be in blue or black when I took them over the green cards, and I think it was fine for me to make that decision. At that point, I think those cards were stronger. Though, of course, I wish I did go into green earlier. Also wish I went up with more rares. My decks have been really rare light, given the extent to which I've been rare drafting in some of them. Not as much this one, because I didn't take Tezzeret. Anyway, let me jump into some of the games, and let's see how we do. It's now the following day for me, and at the beginning of a draft, your deck has unlimited potential, and that's what I really enjoy about drafting. At this point, I found that all of that potential will never be seen, But I have made my bed, so I will now lie in it. And let's see what we get. A little thing about my deck that does bother me a bit is that my 3-drops are all removal spells, so bit of an awkward curve. I'd rather hold my removal spells for cards that are actually going to kill me, but in this case I'll probably often be playing them on turn 2 just for some value, unless I have a Shigeki, in which case I'll be ramping. Although I have no reason to ramp to 5 in this deck, really, right? Like, I'm not going to return Shigeki to my hand and then play Tales of Master Sashiro into an empty board. Alright, this isn't a super exciting hand, but Wanderer's Intervention will hopefully keep me alive. And you really don't want to mulligan in Limited. You can, but like if you have cards that you can play in your hand, you really don't want to be doing it. But I'm basically just going to be sitting on my hands here. I kind of want to kill the high-speed hoverbike while they're tapped out, but I don't have a play next turn, so I might as well take this. I'm going to have to worry about using Wanderer's Intervention, you know, into ninjutsu. Also, Shigeki will wall off Covert Technician, so I shouldn't be that excited about killing it either. Perhaps I should have just killed the high-speed hoverbike while I had the chance. Well, this is actually probably just game. There's not a whole lot I can do about this. My deck has a lot of answers to it, but I don't currently have them. So it's looking like I'm actually just going to die. Especially if they have something big to drop there. Alright, so I'm basically looking to see how long I'm going to chump block for. I'm going to take another hit this turn regardless. I don't think I'm going to chump block with Shigeki. So I'm just going to play the Seiju, make sure that I'm going to hit my land drops. And then I'm looking basically to play a Go Shintai, hope my opponent just doesn't have anything, and then start blocking with it. It looks like my opponent does have things, and I'm probably just going to die. Interesting that they didn't play that off Covert Technician. I suppose they want to get in for 7 this turn. Could hold up Wanderer's Intervention, but at this point I want to be making chump blockers with Go Shintai. But I'm probably just dead, and I'm going to be chump blocking with Go Shintai. Oh, well, that's not what they should have tapped, I think, but alright. I have 3 flying attackers, which can potentially put me down to 1. There's not really anything that I can do here that's great. Like, I can get rid of Sunblade Samurai for life. Playing Imperial Oath would be super risky, because if they can do anything to Branch of Boseiju, I just die. I'm actually tempted to just play Shigeki as a ground blocker, or even just do nothing, which will leave me with 5 mana, some for Wanderer's Intervention, some to cycle the Sunblade Samurai for life. As long as I hold up Wanderer's Intervention, I'm probably not just dead. So, as weird as it is, I'm actually just going to put Shigeki onto the battlefield. They're holding priority. I'm wondering if they have a punch or a counterspell. They shouldn't have mana for a counterspell in this format. Alright, they went with Story Weave. That's not terribly exciting because I'm just going to be chump blocking that until the end of time. I suppose that was a free attack. I just wasn't really thinking. It probably doesn't matter either. Well, I gave them the opportunity to fade that, but I'd rather have them fade that than Branch of Visagio. Because if I lose Branch of Visagio, I'm just actually dead. They have 1 blue mana up, so they might go for ninjutsu. That passed priority really quickly. I'm just going to take the 1, I'm not going to play Wander's Intervention here. Alright, they've got an empty hand. And I'm at 2 life. One of the issues is I can't play Imperial Oath next turn without risking just dying, being dead on board to their flyers. I also really don't want to pitch the Sunblade Samurai for 2 life, but doing this makes me not be dead on board to their flyers if they have a tap effect or that sort of thing. So now I feel a lot better about playing Imperial Oath. Probably should have played Wander's Intervention a while ago, but that's how it be. I'll keep Geothermal Kami for the life, even though I don't have a good card to return. Take my free damage this time. Get my Dork. And Branch of Visagio is starting to look pretty good while my opponent's ripping off the top of their deck. So, at this point, just gotta survive. Okay, so I kind of wonder what's going on here. My branch is going to keep growing, so I'm not going to chump block with it. Alright, my opponent's just throwing their creatures away. If I use Geothermal Kami to pick up Go Shintai, I gain 3 life, but I lose a chump blocker. It means I'm sacrificing one of my Samurai for 3 life, basically. Well, we'll see if my opponent has a trick to get rid of my Go Shintai right now. I maybe should not be attacking in. I don't know what they would have, though, that they wouldn't have already used. So, feels a little bad there. I've given up a little bit of value off of my cards, but position still doesn't feel awful. Opponent is still throwing stuff into the Branch of Visagio. I'm not sure, like, if this is just Silver League things. So in theory, I can start attacking now with Branch, but I'm not going to. I'm not sure if they're holding something or not. I'd rather... Okay. Yeah, that's a thing they can do, I guess. Alright. I don't think that there's a thing that they can have for 1 blue mana that doesn't just make me pick up Branch of Visagio. So... we'll just let them keep doing what they've been doing. 1 artifact or creature. And they're scooping it up. Yeah, well, it's not like I didn't punt this game, or at least play a little bit awkwardly. I definitely should have not held on to Wander's Intervention literally the entire game. But My opponent threw a lot of creatures into Branch of Viseju. I'm not sure if it's because I'm at a low life total. Part of it is probably because I'm in silver. I started last season in bronze because I hadn't played forever. Played maybe 4 or 5 drafts up into gold, back into silver because of the rank reset. My play hasn't been the tightest, but my opponent's has generally been worse. Okay, would have loved to see a Fate into Antiquity last game. Right, if we got this, or our Repel the Vial, or like any of our removal spells earlier, we would have been super excited. Opponent going down to 6 cards on the play. Not super scared of Fang of Shigeki because we have Dork Factories here. All Dork Factories. They're on red-green, which is a very hard deck to make work. Oh, they have their own Shigeki. Well, I can't stop them from doing that because I'm on the draw, so I can't fade it. Get a Scry. I'm sitting on 2 more lands in my hand. I'm just going to hope that we get there. To some extent, I want to guarantee that I make it to 5 no matter what. But, you know, we'll make it there somehow. Have to be daring to play limited. Alright. And we drew another land. So, at this point, it's a question between do I want to let them keep Go Shintai or do I want to let them keep Shigeki? I'm not that afraid of the Go Shintai. I'm going to get rid of the Shigeki. If they have another Shrine, I'm going to feel really bad about this, especially if I don't draw another removal spell. Or perhaps Invigorating Hot Springs is going to start letting them get that creature up pretty big, pretty fast. It looks like I'm going to be taking beats for a little bit longer. I don't remember if this is instant speed or not. Activate only as a sorcery. Alright, so there's real value to a 4/4 here, but it won't outclass Go Shintai for very long. I'm gonna put the counter here, so that if they Invigorating Hot Spring into the Fang of Shigeki, I can still block it. Might make me take a little bit more damage than I need to. This is just a little bit of a rough draw for me to go against on the draw, unless I have the luck to rip another removal spell. So I need to get something that outclasses them as soon as possible. This would be a really good turn to get my Go Shintai online, but I'm starting so late that I'm just going to try to get Viseju going here as fast as I can. They're holding priority with something, and it's not Invigorating Hot Springs. Kami Flare? Oh, Greater Tanuki. Okay. I guess they weren't feeling that they were going to... could have the patience to make the land drop. That makes me think that they have something else that's big in their hand. Bamboo Grove Archer. Doesn't really synergize well with the rest of their deck. Like, it's a fine card, and Kenji values it a lot, but it's not the sort of thing that particularly excites me. Right, like, I don't want to play this if I'm in a deck that wants to kill people. So I could get Tales of Masters Sushiro cooking, and it's fine to some extent, but I'm going to go for my Scry with my Imperial Oath. I have a lot of good cards in this deck. Okay, so I really want that Shigeki. Actually, I'm only going to put cards to the bottom that don't do anything. Please don't go to the bottom. So I want to put Shigeki above Sunblade Samurai. I'm still going to be playing things for a while, so maybe Sunblade Samurai should go on top. I don't think it really matters that much. Basically, what's going to happen here is that I'm going to get Imperial Oath and Fade into Antiquity back with Shigeki, and then my opponent's going to scoop. That's basically what the plan is for me right now. Alright, Greater Tanuki, looking a little scary. My Viseju is going to be the biggest thing on the board. We'll see what my opponent does with attacks. I'm super happy trading a lot of stuff off right now. How many counters do they have left on Invigorating Hot Spring? 1. That means I'll still be able to trade Branch off with Greater Tanuki. I'm fine with doing anything that doesn't just leave me dead. Target non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. This is instant speed. Anything else I want to do with my mana? I have 7, which isn't really a great number. It'll be a really good number once I have Fade back. But I'm just going to end the turn. We'll probably do a bunch of trading here. We'll see what my opponent has. Whatever it is, they just ripped it off the top. Alright, they're probably going to haste up a Bronze Plate Boar and crack. All that I have to do is live, basically. I think that if I survive this turn, I am basically guaranteed to win the game. They know that I'm holding priorities, they know I have something, they don't know what it is. Now all that we need is a Season of Renewal, and it'll really be juicing. But our opponent's in a really bad spot right now. So we can basically just do whatever we want to. I kind of want to get the Go Shintai online. I'm going to get rid of theirs. It's one of the main things that's standing between us and just straight up winning the game. Still going to sit back. I don't know why our opponent hasn't scooped. Maybe they have something really powerful going on here. Maybe I wouldn't, so, you know, that's a fair reason for them to not scoop. It's not like I have a way to attack through them right now. Right, but I'm pretty inevitable. I'm going to play another Imperial Oath. I'm just going to chuck garbage in front of this Greater Tanuki if they attack with it. Another Shigeki. We can't get back our previous Shigeki, unfortunately. But it doesn't really matter. I'm just digging for Season of Renewal so I can start looping value. Although, actually, I really want Selfless Samurai. And Wanderer's Intervention is not bad either. It's a combat trick that I'll be able to get value from to get rid of their Fang of Shigeki. And I'm just gonna wait. Their opponent here is really on borrowed time at the moment. Right, because I'll exile their Greater Tanuki and then they just won't have anything. Over right now, I am going to... No, I'm still not going to do anything. I can't really get in with Branch against their Greater Tanuki as things are now. My choices are to spend this turn cycle doing another Shigeki, loop for a little bit of value. Oh, it's not a loop. For a little bit of value. Or starting to grow the Branch with Tales of Master Sushiro, so they'll be able to attack later with Selfless Samurai. If I play the Selfless Samurai, yeah, I'll get the Shigeki stuff going on later. Maybe they have a punch. Maybe I should have, well, if they have a punch, we'll see. They should do it right now if they have it. Alright. Yep, so we'll get a Wanderer's Intervention. We won't be afraid of Fang of Shigeki anymore. I mean, at this point, I can pretty much just attack with, like, use the attack with all button, and they just kind of die. And we're so inevitable. I'd really rather win this sooner rather than later. I'm not going to crack in with the Goshintai of shared purpose. But probably could. Wouldn't make much of a difference if I just tossed it away. So this leaves them pretty much dead. Do I want to do anything? I could Wanderer's Intervention the Bamboo Grove Archer. So I'm going to use the Selfless Samurai instead. Maybe it's a good choice, maybe it's a bad one. We'll see if they do anything in response. I suspect they're holding some lands. They have a pump spell. Seismic Wave. That does not do very much. So, opponent here is looking pretty dead. They're touching their cards a little bit. So we can just take this and they die. I'm kind of worried about a Boon of Visage or that sort of thing. And yeah, Boon of Visage. I'm just gonna put everything in front of it. We can't really lose a long game. It looks like they don't really have anything. Maybe they do, maybe the Boon of Visage is coming out here. I probably don't have one, but... Flame Discharge, okay. Not a huge deal, actually. And yeah, they're not in a good spot. I don't really need to hold back the Goshintai, but I'm going to do so. Oh, yeah, they would be dead if they didn't block Sashiro's Living Legacy. That's why you do math, I guess. Anyway, we're just gonna end the turn. And they're dead. So we can go on to the next game. Yeah, this is what it looks like when normal people play Magic the Gathering. This is for destroying enemy creatures. I completed a quest, probably just one, not two. So far we're off to a strong start. If we weren't, I was going to put black in the deck. For the 2 long Reach of Knights, it'd give us a lot more late game. We don't really need late game though, we just need to not die. Alright, apparently we love being on the draw. This would be pretty good on the play hand because of the Jukai Naturalist. Not that it's bad on the draw, but we might be able to pressure an opponent. Alright, Roaring Earth on an empty board. Good to see, good to see. If we don't draw a land, I'm really going to want to get the Era of Enlightenment down, and that will really narrow my options a little bit. Alright, Shigeki. Yeah, they're not going to get to do anything with that Shigeki. So, I'm going to use the Touch the Spirit Realm here instead of the Fade, and that's because I want to hit my land drop next turn. So, let's do the Scry first and see what we've got going for us. I do not want to bottom action. but we can't cast these without a fourth land, so they're both going to the bottom. Be gone. Alright, so this is looking a little shaky. Well, it's modified, so it can attack now. And it can kill our Jukai Naturalist, so not terribly exciting. I don't have any good fade targets. It's a little off curve. I think I might just want to cast the Jukai Preserver as a 4/4. I could pick up Era of Enlightenment to, well, I'm not pronouncing that well, anyway, to scry again. But right now I'd rather just get down the Jukai Preserver. I can't really attack in. See if they use the Ninja's Kunai. Looks like they want to. It's reasonable to take out Jukai Naturalist. I kind of want to get rid of Acquisition Octopus. If I'm playing down this Go Shintai right now, I'm just going to be playing it straight into a Ninja Kunai. Let's see if they just do something. We'll go second main phase. No? Okay. I could fade the Acquisition Octopus. It's actually really tempting for me. Geothermal Kami doesn't do much right now. I might just sack the Go Shintai. Opponent will probably kill it. Nope. Or if they are, we're at least getting a trigger first. No, they did not use the Ninja's Kunai. Alright. We might be getting rid of that, because, well, I can chump block that for days. I've got Go Shintai of Shared Purpose. Okay, we are not drawing the lands here. And this Ninja's Kunai is really limiting me. Holding Geothermal Kami for more value just is not fantastic. I would like to have another land first and replay Hand of Enlightenment. Or rather, the Era of Enlightenment side immediately. Selfless Samurai is not terrible. Holding onto the Shigeki feels so bad. If they didn't have the Ninja's Kunai, I wouldn't have to do this. I'm just going to go for maximum value. Maybe I should have faded the Futurist Sentinel. But I'm kind of fine just going long for the moment. I'm going to draw lands eventually, and I'm going to do something. None of their stuff is super scary. Yep. I don't know what they've got in their hand. At the moment, I just want to chump block the Futurist Sentinel. Now that I have the Selfless Samurai, I'm fine playing a Shigeki. I could trade for the Futurist Sentinel. Throw a few creatures in front of it. I don't really see a reason to. My opponent has to pay a fairly high price. Well, that's awkward. They'll probably have a target eventually, though. I think I'm going to get rid of the Acquisition Octopus and play Shigeki and not get a Dork this turn. I really want to hit this land. Let's see if they've got anything. Tamio Safekeeping, Counterspell, that sort of thing. If they want to keep their Acquisition Octopus. Are they going to throw the Ninja's Kunai? They really should have used it by now. They going to hit the Go Shintai? Yeah, fair enough. Am I going to sack the Selfless Samurai for it? I can get it back. I can get it back. And I can't lose my Shigeki. Yeah, sure. Greater Tanuki. Alright, well, that's not that scary. So I'm definitely exiling the Greater Tanuki, and I'm going to use the Shigeki. So let's just use the Shigeki right now. Tales of Master Sashiro, Sunblade Samurai going into the yard. I don't want to mill myself too much. I can go very long with this deck, and this can potentially get me very dead. Yep. Next turn, I'm really looking just for Besseja reaches skyward, get myself some more lands. Sure, keep growing your Guardians of Oboro. If they smack in with Future Sentinel, I might trade for it. I do know what the second mode of this is. Oh, right, that's why I don't know what it is. I don't think I am going to mill more with Shigeki. It's probably the correct play to deploy Shigeki again. But I'm a little nervous about milling. I've gone very low on the cards in some of my games. I want to wait 2 more turns on the Shigeki to get maximum value. If I just get 2 cards back, that would probably win. Whoops, I'm roping my opponent. I was too busy talking. We are not putting one of those back. Almost fooled me there for a second because I wasn't thinking. Okay, so I kind of want to redeploy my Hand of Enlightenment. At this point, I feel like I'm kind of playing with my food a little bit. I think they're just holding up priority with Future Sentinel. Maybe they have something in their hand. We'll see. Redeploy the Era. Looks pretty fantastic to me. Next turn I'm looking at Shigeki for 3 cards back, or a Samurai's Oath. They're both pretty fantastic. Alright, that doesn't really do anything. I do kind of want to get back at Tales of Master Sashiro. But this card is just fantastic, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is doing it. Never accuse me of playing with my food either. Alright, our opponents really gotta have a good card somewhere in their deck if they want to get out of this. Invoke the Winds. No, that's not gonna do it. Alright, like, they need something pretty good here. Oh, whoops. Well, whatever. It doesn't really change the math. Right, I could have put down my planes first. Sure, yeah. They're probably gonna double block it and force me to use the Selfless Samurai here. Okay, it did change the math. If I was my opponent, I probably would have just picked them up there. They're not going to have anything worth Wanderer's Interventioning in one turn. I think they're considering their life's choices right now and trying to figure out what got them into this position. They're touching things, and they have priority though, with the future Sentinel gone. So they do actually have a thing that does stuff that they've been holding on to for a long time. I have no idea what it is. It can't be very good. I don't know if they think that I'm going to lose from this position. They know that I have a Shigeki. I don't really need to play this, do I? Cameo safekeeping? They would have already used it. And they've had enough. I'm sure you've had enough too. Or maybe you're enjoying this. Maybe you're taking a similar sense of schadenfreude to these games that I am. There might be the necessity for that to some extent from the Depths players. Ooh, a card. Awesome, a Circuit Mender. I don't have one of those. We've made it to 3 wins. 4 wins is basically breaking even as far as the gem cost is concerned, although I did pay in gold. Breaking even as far as the gold to gems conversion is concerned. So far, our opponent's decks haven't really done very much. Ham Sandwich could beat the last one that we played against. Alright, we're playing against gold. This is the least exciting hand that I've had so far, and I think that's saying something. We've had some not very exciting ones. Alright. That's a little bit more exciting now. I'm still looking to deploy a Shigeki, though. Reasonable chance it's just going to die. But we've got a Season of Renewal. Right, I'm fine with... we finally got our value loop here. My greatest fear when I'm playing MTG Arena is always just I'm going to click on the wrong thing, even if you can't actually do anything with it. I know that if I click on the wrong side of Shigeki, which I can't currently cast, it would just... Okay, so, well, they're probably going to... Like, I'm not going to touch the Spirit Realm, their Searchlight Companion, but they're probably going to ninja it back. I'd be brought to the pay X thing anyway. So, we'll see. Am I going to pay for this? Maybe. They're touching their Ecologist's Terrarium, which makes me think that they might just... No, it looks like they're getting the ninjutsu value here. No, pass to blockers, thank you. Alright. I was really going for the arena punt there. So they're going to get some ninjutsu value here. Yeah, that's fine. We can't really do anything about that. I'm pretty sure... Is Touch the Spirit Realm only our creature? I really want to do this. Deny them a card. But I'm just going to activate the ability. It'd be super fun to touch the Spirit Realm that. Need another white source. Binning a Jukai Preserver that we can get back with Season of Renewal. I'll let the opponent... Alright. Yeah, we're doing it. Although, what we're doing is not as exciting as I'd like. Let's get some action here. I might have to touch the Spirit Realm with Searchlight Companion. It's a little embarrassing. My opponent didn't ninjutsu it, though. If they... Alright, the Modern Age. Tempted to repel the Violet. Stop them from scrying anymore, that sort of thing. I do just want to deploy my cards at a certain point. Oh, we're going to take our rats all the way to the bank. Thank you very much, opponent. Not really worried about taking one. I do want some more lands. I can play Geothermal for no value. I can play Shigeki to dump more into my yard and ramp. Or I can trust that I'm going to draw the cards naturally. Well, I'm getting in with everything regardless, so let's do that. I'm not playing Repel the Vial this turn. Opponent want to trade spirits, that's fine. They want to keep their rat. Little do they know. Unless they have a counterspell. People don't really play counterspells in this format, though. No value geothermal. Get a nice little spirit there. Well, we're letting them get a little bit of value, but... I want to pressure them enough that they can't really do much with their flyers. It's the problem with not taking the Bamboo Grove Archers. I gain more flexibility because by not playing Bamboo Grove Archers, I can just kind of kill people. Alright, you're not attacking with Bamboo Grove Archer. Oh boy. We're gonna give them Hidetsugu for one turn. Alright. Thank you for the rats. I really need to rip a land pretty soon. Oh boy. Yeah, these draws are not looking good for us. I might have to deploy another Shigeki and just accept the fact that it might die. My opponent's also going to get a Behold, which is a little unfortunate. There's not a huge amount I can do about it. It also means that I'm not making a Spirit this turn. Might lose to this deck, mostly due to mana screw, right? If we had 2 more lands, I wouldn't be worried about anything right now. Opponent's topping a card. I haven't even bottomed any cards this game. Did bin a few lands, but... Can't get lucky every game, can you? Sometimes you lose to variants even against 3-color decks. Looks like they might have drawn Ninjutsu this time. Although they would have just ripped it off, wouldn't they? Oh, no. There it goes. I probably just would have hardcasted the Moonsnare Specialist unless they have something that they really need to do with 3 mana. It's pretty bad for us, though. We're really restrained on mana. They can get rid of a token. I don't think that's a good play. I think for them it's between Geothermal and Shigeki. Oh, this is not a good play. They're taking so much damage for this. Okay, so we got our land. Does that change things? It means we can just deploy an Imperial Oath and leave Shigeki on the battlefield. I'm in for that. Yeah, let's scry first and see if there's anything that changes my decision. Want to keep getting more lands. Do I want to take this land? Yeah, I think I want to top deck a land next turn. It means Shigeki's going to stay on the battlefield for a while. Okay, so... yeah, opponent really needed to watch the tempo there, right? They're in a super rough spot right now. They do have a grip of cards, though, so maybe they'll do something scary. And I have been mana constrained for a long time, which has really helped them with the tempo a lot. If I had a few more lands a few turns earlier, they'd just be super dead. Not sure what they're thinking about doing with Ecologist's Terrarium. There's no way that's worth it. Right, they've already got the biggest dude on the board. If they do deploy cards from their hand, it is going to shrink it. Alright, that's a reason to do it. I don't really need this anymore. They know that I have a Shigeki on the battlefield, which means that I ain't scared. Right, I just ain't scared. I'm going to attack first and see what they do. I'm attacking with everything but Shigeki. I probably should have done attack all and pulled back the Shigeki instead. Their blocks are kind of natural here, although they could kill a Samurai with Moonsnare Specialist. I'm just going to throw away my 2 creatures, get my damage in. There's no reason not to put this on top. Said there's no reason not to put this on top. Thank you. Yeah, and now they need a lot of blockers. Season of Renewal is not super exciting here, but that's because I haven't played Shigeki yet. Graveyard's not super exciting either. They can't really attack or they're dead. They probably can't even deploy enough blockers. We have an Intercessor's Arrest coming up. Exile an enchantment we control. Fine. Fine. I'm not giving them Hitotsugu back. And they're dying. They choose death. I can't stop them from doing it in Ninjutsu. Sure. Copy your vision of the unspeakable. I could have stopped them from doing that exactly, and they're dead. So, you know, maybe I should have traded for Moonsnare Specialist. I think it was all academic at that point, though. Alright. Another quest. Almost getting back up to just being able to pay gold for the next draft again, which is nice. I really only do 1 or 2 drafts a week. So I pretty much just pay gold for a lot of them. I have been paying gems for some of them, which is why I don't have that many gems. As many times as I've gone 7 wins in this format. My worst is a 4-3 with a blue-black deck. Alright, this is really bad. But it's not bad enough that I'm going to mulligan. Perhaps I'm making a mistake here. You know, I'm sort of in the Saffron Olive camp here. 1 land, 1 keep. Okay, I'm not that bad, although I've played Elves for a very long time. And it does sort of put you in that mood. Like, I think I play 18 lands in my Elf deck, something like that, which is super low. Even for an Elf deck. Or at least I used to. It was sort of back when it was in the... Oh, that's nice. Get rewarded. Play greedy, get rewarded. Back when I was in the sort of more homebrewing stage of things, Elves was really bad. There was no Glimpse combo, that sort of thing. If they attack, I'm going to take it, even if they're just trying to kill their Iron Apprentice. There's a reasonable chance we just lose Shigeki, though, which is sort of a feels bad moment. Also against Blue-Red, there's a chance we just die. Always a chance we just die. I'm not going to fade anything. Searchlight Companion's a good card, but it doesn't apply a lot of pressure. Right, I'm unhappy seeing it because of the implications. The ninjutsu, really, but... I'm sort of happy seeing it because it means we get time. Same with Network Terminal. I'm not going to fade the terminal either. The question is, if I block the Iron Apprentice, what am I going... Move to blockers, please. Am I just doing this to avoid taking 1? The Iron Apprentice is going to die eventually, and the counter's going to go to the Searchlight Companion. I think I'm going to accept just killing the Iron Apprentice and moving the counter to the Searchlight Companion. Maybe I'll remove the Searchlight Companion. Sort of a feels bad moment, but like... Please hit a plains. Thank you, Magic Gods. I would really like another land, though. If we lose Shigeki, we lose Shigeki, but, you know, I need my lands. What happened last game was really bad. And it's happening again at the moment, so let's make that not happen, please. Of course, if we don't rip another land, activating Shigeki's ability is going to be super painful. Kinda not in for it. To the point where I might not even do it. Take at least 2. Interesting. That's not good. I'm not really interested in, what is it, fucking around and finding out by attacking with Selfless Samurai. I also don't want to pass the turn, but I think I kind of have to. I could play a 4-drop. My 4-drop options are not terribly exciting. We're just going to try to get some lands on the battlefield. That's all that I can really do at the moment. Not excited by it. My X curve is a little bit high. I do have a Commune of Spirits. Wonder if they're holding counter spells or something. I mean, I do have to do something eventually. I will fade their Searchlight if I have to. At Sushi. Sure thing, boss. Mila Shigeki. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent just niced me right there. But they were kind and they didn't. How many cards in my deck? Can I mill myself for 4 again? No, I really can't. That makes my curve super awkward. I can arrest the Sushi. That makes my curve a little bit better. And fade the Searchlight Companion? Alright. Not a super exciting line. But, right, it's a thing. Opponent's down on cards. I just want to apply pressure now. Not that I'm very good at that. Ideally, drawing a few lands would get me there pretty quickly. Could have touched the Spirit Realm to the Sushi. You know, Intercessor's Arrest has some issues in the off chance that my opponent kills their own Sushi for value. I find that unlikely. And if they throw a burn spell at it, like, fine, they can throw a burn spell at their own Sushi. I'd rather save the Touch the Spirit Realm for something that I can't answer with an Arrest. Alright, Garbage Bot. Is that 4 mana or 3 mana? It's 3 mana. Super awkward. I can take a hit from it. Opponent holding priority here. Network Terminal will hold priority, but they've probably got something else that's holding priority too. I mean, better way of removing it, Sushi, whatever. Oh, this is an instant. I'm just gonna pass the turn. I have time. Not a lot of time, because I milled myself twice. 16 cards left in my deck. 16 turns is a long time, though. And a lot of minutes if your opponent ropes you too much. Right, I've already got an hour and a half of footage because I spent like 30 minutes drafting and building a deck, which is 3 times how long Kenji takes, but I'm not a professional Magic the Gathering player, and I'm playing a slow deck, a Dirtle deck. I'm a control mage at heart, which is why I like limited, because I can indulge my control mage appetite. Constructed control decks have a tendency to be expensive. For Arena, lots of rares. In Paper, lots of expensive rares. Dual lands, cryptic commands, that sort of thing. Alright, we're just gonna have to take a hit from this. Or can it not crew vehicles? It can't crew vehicles. I'm a genius. Let's make sure that I do this right. Target a creature card, that's gonna be Geothermal Kami. Target an enchantment, that's gonna be Jukai Naturalist. Submit 0. Although I kind of want to top a land, actually. So if my opponent gets another creature in their yard, they'll be able to power up the Thundersteel Colossus. I'm not terribly concerned about that. So we've got 6 mana left. Do I want to draw this land? Not really. It's not terrible either, though. Question is, am I going to play Geothermal Kami for no value? I think the answer to that is yes. I'm not going to pick up... You're not going to pick up Era of Enlightenment? I'm going to pick up Era of Enlightenment. I'm that kind of guy. Attack with Selfless Samurai is kind of free, 2 life. I'm not going to do it. Let's see if the opponent gets into the Thundersteel Colossus because I put my shields down. We'll take our beats if they do. Alright. They've got their card advantage too. Synthesizer? Ooh, baby. You do you, opponent. Thank God they're 1 mana away from that. At this point, I can pretty much play as loose as I want. My opponent cannot really do much about this, I think. I imagine their experimental synthesizer is currently holding priority. I think that can be activated as an instant. Their network terminal can also hold... Oh, sorcery. Okay, it's their network terminal. Haven't really been looting with it this game. Not like I have the tightest play either, but come on, opponent. My opponent just kind of has to jam at the moment, so I'm going to, once my opponent's done roping me, we'll see if they scoop. Once my opponent's done roping me, I'm going to attack all, play Era of Enlightenment. They might be able to grow the runaway trash bot actually, so maybe I should just get in with a geothermal. Could have always removed the trash bot. Right, but they have an artifact creature in their hand, they can loot it away with network terminal, grow the trash bot, kill my Jukai Naturalist or Selfless Samurai. Now let's just get in with a geothermal. 13 cards left in the deck. I don't think my opponent is that long for this world, though. Giving me the good old rope. I've been talking a lot here, so I'm not sure how much of it I'll cut, but I should cut a lot of it. Alright, they're taking their beats. I mean, they know what's in my hand. I'm kind of surprised they're still going here. Actually, if I don't play Era of Enlightenment, I can get back 3 cards with Shigeki if my opponent doesn't run into an attacker of mine. 3 cards with Shigeki being Season of Renewal, Fade into Antiquity, and Sunblade Samurai probably, or maybe a land. Actually, I'd probably take a land back over Sunblade Samurai. Yeah, I'm getting salty roped here. I think my opponent knows that they're holding priority. To some extent, can't blame them. Double Shigeki does do that to people, I think. Also, pretty much all of my cards are very good at being real cards that trade 1 for 1. Oh, maybe I'm not being salty roped, maybe they only just figured it out. I'm gonna end the turn. Yeah, this person might just not know what's going on. Are they reading their cards now? Good on you, opponent, reading your cards. Oh, they're reading their cards. I didn't think they had that power. Oh boy, they are gonna get so wrecked. Right, they're gonna slam Walking Skyscraper with all of their mana, they're gonna crew up Thundersteel Colossus, and they're gonna lose both of them. And then they're gonna scoop. Or maybe they won't. They won't just run a Thundersteel Colossus into a branch of Viseiju. They're not that dumb, right? Right? What's the crew on this? 2? Yeah, crew's 2. You can crew it with Runaway Trashbot. For some reason I thought Thundersteel Colossus might have had flying, just because it's so expensive. Plains or forest? Let's take a plains. Are we done here? Are we done here, opponent? How long are you going to rope me for? You are dead. You are actually just dead. I suppose not literally dead yet, but like... You're gonna crew up the Thundersteel Colossus. Good for you. You aren't allowed to have nice things. Be gone. Is there anything that I can do to make them literally be dead now? I don't think there is, so I'll just attack with the branch. Is there anything I want to do right now? I guess Era of Enlightenment. We're at 21, so I don't think our opponent's just going to kill us. Mobilizer mech? Sure. Have they had enough? Thing is, they can chump block with a samurai, which means a mass attack really is not that great. I don't think they're just gonna run me out of cards, but like, I mean, maybe a possibility. Alright, they've had enough. I would have had enough a long time ago if I was them, but you know. Alright, we're back into Gold League. Will I ever play enough Magic the Gathering to really get into higher leagues? Well, that remains to be seen. Ooh, another card. Relic Vial. I have no idea what that does, and I'll probably never find out. Alright, onward and upward. Also, I'm not Kenji, so I don't have 2-minute queue times. Some of the benefits of not being as good at this game. So he's probably... I'm trying to remember how many times he said he drafted Kamigawa was like 40 or something. That's probably about as many drafts as I've played of everything combined in my entire life. Like, traditionally, drafting has been very expensive. Especially in paper, where I've tended to do it. Xane's a little slow. Oh, we're just gonna die, aren't we? It's one of those games. It's not that we don't have things to deploy early, we don't have very much, but we do have things, but we didn't draw them, so... Interesting, are we getting ninjutsu'd? Moon Circuit Hacker, fantastic. They're gonna get a fair bit of value out of this because they're on the play. Rapid Battery comes back down. We still can't do anything, we don't have a Shigeki, Era of Enlightenment, that sort of thing. Opponent's got a very fast draw, and they're on the play, because of course they are. A reasonable chance that we're just kind of dead. Question is if I want to turn off the Mechanaut or the Moon Circuit Hacker. I kind of want to turn off the Hacker. It doesn't really change the clock at all, either way. But Repel the Vial can hit Moon Circuit Hacker, but it can't hit the Mechanaut. So let's get rid of the Mechanaut. Means they get to keep looting a little bit longer. We're probably just dead, right? On the draw with a hand this slow against an opponent with the nuts, we're just gonna die. Was what I was worried about with this deck. Oh yeah, they've got everything. They have it all. We are just so dead. If we're on the play, or if we had a Shigeki, it wouldn't be as bad. I think we'd have to be on the play and have a Shigeki to, or Jukai Naturalist. It's a little late now, though. It's a little late now. We're just kind of boned. Not having a second white source is also really bad. I wonder if the opponent's just going to go for a lethal with a suit up or that sort of thing. Well. We had to make the play first, so... I mean, it's not like we were literally dead, but we're kind of dead, so... Still, I don't think I can turn this around. If I rip a land and they play a 4-drop, not in the worst spot, and by a land I mean a plains. Or if they play something I can hit with a Fall of Lord Conda. Okay, well, I lied. We're still in a terrible spot. Basically, I need a plains, or I'm just picking it up. Well, ask and thou shalt receive. We're still sacking our Jukai Naturalist next turn, and we may very well actually just be dead if they have a removal spell. We're skating on thin ice here, right? Best case scenario is they just suit a Rabbit Battery with Lizard Blades and attack. I lose the Jukai Naturalist for nothing. Worst case scenario is they kill the Jukai Naturalist, and I just... Okay. Yeah, we've had enough here. Opponent had everything, and we were on not really an optimal draw there. Definitely the sort of deck I was worried about. It is one of the things with ninjutsu decks as well, is like, if we were on the play, that game would have looked much different. It still wouldn't have been fantastic for us, but there's a real chance we would have won. If we're on the play and I had any one of my 2-drops, we were almost certainly going to win that game. That's one of the games that would have only been made worse by splashing black, so certainly not going to splash black for it. We've won every late game we've made it to. As you kind of expect when you play Season of Renewal and 2 Shigekis and 2 Samurai's Oath and that sort of thing. Alright, we're on the play again. If we had this hand last game, I think we would have won. Oh, these are cool cards. Oh, they helloed me. I'm supposed to say your go, right? I learned this from watching CGB. I only copy the best. Alright, this isn't looking good. I'm getting ninjutsu'd again, I'm not terribly happy. Picking a land. Are we getting hackered here? It's not a great play pattern in my opinion. Oh, Coiling Stalker, alright. I kind of want to play something that we're happy to block Coiling Stalker with, but Jukai Naturalist is not actually doing a lot for me right now. So I'm not sure if I want to play it out and block with it, or if I want to... I'm going to play out the Selfless Samurai instead. If I'm going to be trading a creature off, I'd rather it be this. Okay, my opponent's not going to give me that opportunity, which is fair enough, I guess. Perils of being on the draw. I'm just wondering if I'm attacking or not. I think the answer is no. We're still not in a great spot. I kind of need to rip a land. I've been saying that a lot. But it's kind of true. Take our beats. Covert Technician. We're in a little bit of a sticky spot. Right, I can attack if I remove the Covert Technician, but that's not a good spot to be in. What if I guarantee that I go up to 5 lands next turn? Does that really change much for me? It really doesn't. I'm kind of tempted to just play out the Goshintai of Shared Purpose and see what happens. These will be taking damage for a little bit longer. And I'm probably going to have to fade into Antiquity of the Network Disruptor. Or that. Oh yeah, or that. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. Can't gain life this turn. Have to take 2 more damage off the Network Disruptor. Am I going to... I kind of want to get Shigeki back into my hand. To the point where I'm not going to make a dork. Feels a little bad. I need to do something about this Network Disruptor soon, though, or I'm just going to die. Interesting. Didn't ninjutsu it in. He values +1/+1 counter more. Wow, well, we just milled a lot of really good cards. Okay, this is starting to get awkward. We do have 6 mana, which means that I can deal with Network Disruptor on 1 turn. However, it would be cashing in a Season of Renewal straight 1-for-1 card. I want to take damage in the air one more time. I really don't want to bottom a Shigeki, but I already have a loop. Battlefields. View browser, please. So basically 6 mana for removal spell is going to feel really bad, but I don't know if I have an alternative. I need to kill the Network Disruptor. I don't think my opponent has a way of actually killing me, so I could make it last 1 more turn, and I'll use the Wanderer's Intervention on it. Seems like the best thing to do. I could also start getting some life back, and I think that's what I'm going to do here. I don't have great attacks, but I can at least start doing this, right? And this buys me a lot of time. Okay, I wouldn't personally make that block, but my opponent is entitled to do what my opponent is going to do. I'm not going to deploy another Shigeki. Okay, so opponent has suddenly found themselves in a not-so-good situation. Is this even worth removing? To some extent, no. Let's see if they have something, though. I should probably do this after damage. Right, I can take 2 damage. I would like to get a creature card into my yard, so perhaps I should have lined that up instead, but and such is life. That's a nice one. They're not going to get much out of it, but it is a nice one. If my opponent hits me with this card, I'm going to feel so bad. Do they have a way to save this? No, okay. That's a not great play into a geothermal Kami. I bottomed one, but... Ooh, 2 top. That's scary. Selfless Samurai is my best creature. What does opponent have? They gave a double top. Right? Like, you don't double top unless what you have is going to win the game. What's the ward on this? 2. We have 9 mana. Target a creature card, Shigeki. Target an enchantment, Intercessor's Arrest. I am sure it is nice. Thanks. You know what they say, sucks to suck. Alright, let's see, can we keep getting away with it? Just got 1 game left to go. The deck is working a bit better than I thought. Part of it is just like Silver Gold League things. But I felt bad about every single deck that I've drafted, and only one of them have I come out with fewer gems than I've gone in with. My 4 and 3 Blue-Black Ninjas deck. It was kind of weird, like, Blue and Black were very open that draft, so I don't think I picked a single card that wasn't blue or black. But I didn't get a lot of the premium commons that you look for. I don't think my deck had a single Moonsarget Hacker. Maybe had 1 Reckoner Raid, had no Twisted Embrace. Kind of weird. I had a few rares, not bomb rares, but a few rares. My deck just didn't do anything, right? This deck does things. If you can't kill me, you're going to lose eventually. Not like the deck that I drafted before this, which I also went to 7 wins with. We're on the play, but we have an interesting looking hand. We're still going to keep it. When I say interesting, I mean not good. You know that from watching me play from the depths. Alright, get rewarded. Hand is a little thin though, we need to draw some action here. I'm gonna let them have this, I'm not gonna fade this creature. Oh, but do they have the balls? Alright, looks like they sacked up and blocked. Right, this can only play artifact spells. It means I can fade whatever they play with it. If they play something off of it, I'm probably going to fade it. I'm just trying to live until I play Imperial Oath. Generally, I like spending removal spells on things that I can't beat any other way. But Fade is sort of an exception. If I can hit something with Fade, I'm pretty happy. Not this, though. I'm touching your card, opponent. What are you going to do about it? And they're going to use it. There's a pretty good vehicle for this man. I forget what it's called. We'll see if that's what they have. Oh, Covert Technician. Well, we're going to fade that. Oh, and a Hot Shot mechanic. Alright, I do not want to run my Selfless Samurai into a Hot Shot mechanic. That's just like a feels bad moment. But you're not allowed to have this. We're not going to block the Hot Shot either. Selfless Samurai is worth too much for that. It'll protect my Goshen tie of shared purpose. Trying to drop next turn. Imperial Oath the turn after. We'll probably drop it. We'll see what we draw. Hopefully use that to scry for things like Shigeki. Although, I haven't had much action. We're flooding out a little bit. So Shigeki's not that good here. And I'd probably have to play it in... That's what I wanted to kill. Oh, well. It's crew 2, right? Okay. Well, that's a little unfortunate. But them's the beats. Good play on my opponent for not just running it out, I guess. Oh no. This deck loves lands, but it doesn't love lands this much, right? Opponent's holding priority with their crew costs. I'm not going to mass block. I'd have to get rid of my Go Shintai, and I value it higher than their vehicle. Even though it's a little debatable because I can't use it next turn. Looks like my opponent's draw might be a little thin too. We'll see, maybe they'll just rip something. If they don't have a big card, I would not have deployed the Moonsnare prototype. Its channel is just better, though, so I'm sort of worried that they're just going to drop a massive bomb here. They have a lot of mana. Alright, that doesn't really matter. Its effect is a triggered ability, maybe my opponent is realizing that right now. Does mean they can attack more productively. I was not going to gang block either way, though. I think that was a really bad play from the opponent. I take back anything that I've said about them being a good player. If they're born in 2010, it's acceptable. I guess they're 12. Not going to chump block this. I'm just holding priority all the time. All the sticks with Selfless Samurai. Dragonfly Suit. Alright, they shouldn't have played Moonsnare Prototype in this mode. It's just bad magic. Not what I was looking to see there. We're flooding out so badly right now. I will trade Selfless Samurai for Dragonfly Suit. Maybe it's not a good trade, but I don't want to start taking 3 in the air. I want to push this game really long. I think there's... And if I am taking 3 in the air, I'd love to be getting in for 2 lifelink on the ground. Lands be gone. This is not exciting. Can we even hit anything with Repel the Vile? We can't, can we? Alright. Maybe I should have kept it anyway, but we were really not doing it there. Alright, opponent, we might lose in the late game for the first time, but like... we've been outdrawn a little bit here, I think. Depends on what the opponent draws. We're both playing off the top of our deck. Top of my deck should be better because I just played an Imperial Oath. Maybe I should have... I'm not bottoming Sunblade Samurai. Yeah, alright. Just gonna have to start taking 3 in the air. It's gonna take a while to kill us this way. But I can't really do anything about this. Opponent gets value every turn. I can't really attack in anymore. Sky Summer Koi. Oh, yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. 2 attackers in the air, blockers that we can't really get through. Oh, I mean, Sunblade Samurai will be able to get through them, but like, it's just... This just wasn't a good draw. It is one of the risks of the deck, though, with not taking the Bamboo Grove Archer. I mean, not like we necessarily would have drawn it. We have removal spells, like we can deal with flyers. But yeah, haven't really drawn much except for lands this game. Opponent's draw has been about as good as it gets for their deck, I think. Right, they just kind of have everything. And they're topping a card. Yeah, we don't have Spinning Wheel Kick, which I'd really love to see here. And they're playing pretty defensively, so... I think we're just kind of done here. Even a Shigeki would be too slow, right? We could get rid of the Dragonfly Suit. Still be taking 4 in the air. Branch of Visage's too slow. Blossoming Sands. I mean, yeah, we're done here. We're not really winning this one. A lifelink here is good. I can sack Selfless Samurai to get this attack in again. It's not a very good attack, though. It buys us a lot of time, but we're flooding out so badly. And it feels kind of bad because we had card selection, right? We had Imperial Oath. Actually, I take it back that, like, if we could Imperial Oath into another Imperial Oath or Shigeki, I think we just won. Depends on what the opponent draws. They do have scrying action going on. This is an interesting line of play from them, though. Alright, they need to kill Sunblade Samurai here. Well, not that they need to, we're just drawing nothing but lands. They, I guess, can't know how powerful our deck is in the late game. And how... Oh boy. Yeah, we're done for. You can't beat variants sometimes. I don't really think there's anything we could have done better to win this game. Whether it be in the drafting stage or the deck building stage. The Magic Gods were just not smiling on us this time. I mean, if our opponent plays badly enough, we still might get there. But I can't really see that happening. Is it too late to just win off of a Shigeki? It might be. Opponent's scrying top again. Jesus. They have been a little lucky here. Right? Their play hasn't been tight enough to win without an incredible amount of luck, I think. And with the two Prodigy's prototypes, I can't even attack it on the ground. I haven't got... Jesus. This is horrible. This is like 0.01% bad luck when you include how good the opponent's luck has been this game. But not really much I can do. You just can't beat the Magic God some games. It's a shame we couldn't have scryed all of these lands to the bottom with Samurai's Oath. It's just how it goes, I guess. We have a lot of time if our opponent's going to keep doing this, right? Like, they're not winning this way. They need to just mass block Sunblade Samurai and turn off our lifelink. I don't know why they haven't done it. Alright. Alright, well, I guess they win. I've said that a few times now, but, like, it's kind of true. If I just throw a knife at the Selfless Samurai, we just lose. I lose my lifelink. I mean, they didn't kill it the way they should have. They're letting me gain life again. Thank you, opponent. Their play is depressing me here. I'm depressed. Please, please don't play like this, opponent. Right, like, if I'm gonna lose to someone, I want them to be playing better than this. It feels really bad when people play like this and they still beat you. Do we even have 2 forests left in our deck? I think we do. I think we're playing 7 for it. We're playing 8 forests. Well, we just lost our lifelink. We are going to get a reach creature. It's going to be a little late. Don't have a lot left. Oh, we don't have very many lands left in our deck to draw at this point, so that's good, I guess. But our lifelink is gone. Um, question is, are we just dead? Like, if they have nothing, are we just dead? I think the answer is not quite. They need to actually have something. Or is the answer yes, actually? Yeah, the answer is actually yes, we're just dead. We need to actually draw something. I was sort of assuming that they were going to keep being stupid. They decided eventually to become less stupid, but I think they're still just drawing perfectly, though. Someone stacked all of their lands to the bottom of their deck. Either that or they're playing like 10 lands. They tanked for a long time, which makes me think that wasn't actually a land. Unless they don't have enough lands to play whatever's in their hand. Yeah, if we drew up this issue earlier, we'd have a better chance. I suppose I take out the Sky Simmer Koi with this. Man, this has been a rough draw. I mean, we're probably just trading this for a bunch of dorks, but, like, not really get anything else done. I have no idea what they're holding. At this point, I can't really play around much anyway, because I'm just kind of dying. If it's a bounce ball for Besager just Skyward, I'm gonna cry. Oh, weird that they're throwing a hotshot mechanic in here. They should know, because there's no stick, that I'm just holding a land. Alright, doesn't really matter how I organize these, I don't think that they have anything. So strange that they throw away the hotshot mechanic, though. I mean, I guess it's fine, these pilots might be more useful. Alright, we go to 5 next turn if they don't have any, or this turn if they don't have anything. They do have something. We're in trouble. Mass attack, we're not just quite dead. Pretty close, though. Yep. For a second I thought this was the Moonsnare prototype. Looks like they're starting to get scry value. They're probably bottoming lands now. They've got something going on in their hand, though. Something that's very likely to beat me if it... And they drew a land, too. And we're drawing lands as well. We're conceding if they touch Branch of Visage. Right. Oh, man. Come on, Shigeki. Or a good scry effect or a removal spell to get rid of this Dragonfly suit that we're currently losing to. Please stop touching my Branch of Visage. No touching. Right, like, if you've got a removal spell, you win. That's just how it is. We're just gonna rip off the Fade. Buys us a huge amount of time. I can't even afford to attack with Branch of Visage now. And it's our only thing that we can really attack with. We've got 4 more lands left in our deck. This doesn't really help us that much, does it? It can attack by itself a little bit, trade for some of our opponent's creatures. Or perhaps not do anything. I have no idea what my opponent's holding. Right, they can, whatever it is, they can play it. It's gotta be a trick, but I have no idea what they would just keep holding. Guidebot. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one to beat. I can't really stop them from activating that every turn. Although they have a lot of mana, so they might be a little bit mana constrained. If we're gonna beat them, we're gonna have to beat every card in their deck. Okay, that does something, right? Not a lot of something. This is not exciting. We can't attack productively, though, so we might as well do this. Turn a creature, turn an enchantment. Do they have a just hard counterspell? There isn't one for just 1 blue mana. Mirror Shell Crab is the closest. If we lose 1 card here, do I want it to be Sunblade Samurai or Selfless Samurai? I want it to be... Oh, and we have so many lands that they can't really do much about this anyway. I wish I drew this into them, the Jukai Preserver, to get up to the 5/5 Sunblade Samurai. Alright. I want either another Samurai's Oath to scry. Yeah, they should scry off the Moonfolk Puzzle Maker right now. Or to just draw Shigeki. The game ends if we X4 a Shigeki. I say the game ends, it might not, we might actually just die. Alright, I'm glad they got that so late. We may just have to beat every single card in their deck, though. Not really sure there's a way around that. I'm not sure if I'm going to save Sunblade Samurai with Selfless Samurai at this point. Selfless Samurai doesn't protect Branch from exile effects, and it's not like they... Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, we have to draw more lands eventually, but... I do need more life. Man, I've got 1 hour and 42 minutes on the recording clock right now. And there's potentially another game after this one. Alright. I have no idea what they're targeting with this. Is it... Like, I can't see. Okay, it was the Sunblade Samurai. I can chump attack for 2 life here. I don't think I need to, though. Maybe it's a mistake, right? Like, maybe they're going to tap down Branch of Visage, and I'm literally just going to die. Got 3 lands left in our deck. It's cried to the top. Not looking good for us. They do have a lot of card selection now. They definitely would not win if we had either of our 2 Shigekis. You can't outvalue that. Okay, well, we're in a little bit of trouble now. It seemed like we had briefly stabilized. Hopefully we at least get some lifelink in. I'm sort of wishing I chump attacked for 2 life now. 7 would be a much more comfortable life total. Guidebot activation currently costs them 2. Down to 13 cards in their deck. Not what we're looking for. See if they have anything else. Stopped me from gaining this 4 life. Still holding a card. I wonder if they're holding that high-speed hover bike for a while or not. I'm surprised they didn't use it to push through damage, though. We're gonna trade in the Selfless Samurai for 4 life. That was a really bad way of playing it, though. They probably could have 2-for-1'd me there. I would have played into it. Alright, I'm not quite as worried now that they're playing off the top of their library. 2 Shigekis in the bottom 15. They deck first, so... just have to survive. Kind of out of lifelink other than Jukai Naturalist. They're going to see every single card in their deck. They've already scried a bit to the bottom though, so... oh, and they scried to the top, which is not a good sign. But we'll see. We'll have to see if they deal with Branch of Hiseichu and I rip a Shigeki if I can still live or not. Probably too much calculations for me given the arena clock. I want to get at least 3 cards back, right? And that would cost me 8 mana. I think we could do it. Okay, yeah, that's a good card. We're almost dead on board right now. I might chump attack the Jukai Naturalist for life if we don't draw anything. That's what I'm going to do if they let me, I think. I almost want to bottom Imperial Oath. I think the scry is worth it, but we're getting to the point where I have to draw, and we do get 2 life off Era of Enlightenment, so we do have a little bit of time. It's getting kind of to the point where I have to draw my Shigeki or I actually just lose the game. My opponent's scared of putting one of their actual creatures in front of it. Kinda looks like they are. Well, at least I get a token out of the deal, which is more than I thought I was going to get. I don't know why they block like that. I have an empty hand. I've got no tricks on the board. I've got a lot of attackers, but it's not enough to kill them. They've got a lot of chump blockers. Am I going to be able to survive the rest of their deck? Topping the Samurai's Oath might have been a mistake. Right, if they have anything that can touch Branch of Hiseichu, I just lose. Okay, if they topped that, that's kind of a mistake, I think. It doesn't really do anything. Sure, they have 2, and they can crew them up with their pilots. But they don't win the game here. Right, they either have a removal spell for Branch of Hiseichu, they have a way to get more flyers, or they kind of lose. So... we'll see. Alright, another Patchy. They get to... no, they don't get to replicate it, do they? I can only make colorless. I think they could have set that up so that they could have replicated the Patchy, but I'm not sure how much it matters. Are they going to do anything or not? They don't win by turning them sideways right now. 2 life, super welcome. See if we can scry into anything right now. That's what we needed. Now we just have to see if we survive long enough. I think I get back 3 cards though. One of them being Season of Renewal. Is it actually a season and 2 fades? All I have to do is get rid of some flyers. Assuming I'm not dead. You never know. Opponent's gonna deck pretty soon. And they're still drawing cards. Have they seen every card in their deck? I haven't been keeping track of how many scries they've bottomed. Getting a Selfless Samurai would be super nice for the life. I have 14 mana. We have 6 left if we get 3 cards off the Shigeki, which means we can Shigeki and then fade twice. Oh, are we dead? No, I don't think so, but this hurts. It might change the math as well. Right now they can get in with the flyers. What's just a 3? Yeah, actually we might just be dead. Question is, if they get in with the flyers, do they die on the backswing? I don't think that there's anything that I can do to survive 2 hits. No, I can't double fade and get back the samurai. Yeah, we don't have lethal on an attack. We only push through 7 damage. So is this just game? If it is, it's game by 1. No, I think we're still alive. Assuming that they don't have anything. We just let it go. I don't save it with Selfless Samurai. I'm not sure if we get another turn after this, though. Or, like, no. I do know that we get another turn. But I don't know if it changes the math at all. Right, we're just trying to grind out the last few cards in their library. I don't know that we can, though. Maybe I played that wrong. Maybe I should have saved it. I don't know if I can afford to season the Shigeki back, though. Right? Like, I can't season the Shigeki. Yeah, the Shigeki just came too late. I mean, they got their Repel the Vile was like their bottom card. But we still got outlucked a little bit here. I always hope that they just commit too many creatures to attack and we just kill them, but they've been playing too reserved for that. Right, they're gonna get in... Oh wait, they get in for 7 in the air? I miscounted that. Well, we're just dead. We'll see if they make the attack. This game was really unfortunate. Alright, that's really depressing. That game was so long. And we really, really should have won it. We probably win that game like 90-95% of the time, I think. Especially with the opponent playing that badly. If they were a better player, I think they might have a higher win percentage than that, but I think they're maybe 5% to win. I think it's really grim on their end. Can't win them all, though. Especially when you draw like that. That was complete and total garbage. Okay, it's looking up a little bit. This is the first like, actually good draw that we've had, I think. We can always get mana screwed, though. I mean, that's always a thing that happens. And it's increasingly looking like it's going to happen this game. Other green-red deck. And we're getting burned. Means we're not going to do anything next turn, probably. Feels a little bad. We can definitely just lose the Shigeki here. In which case we get 2 cards off Season of Renewal, which doesn't feel that bad. But just passing, like playing Shigeki, then the next turn just passing doesn't feel good either. Yeah, not the best feeling. How badly do I need to go up lands? I think really badly. This play pattern has happened too much. I think my draws have been incredibly subpar with this deck. Compared to my opponents, at least. Not that they haven't ever stumbled, but they've always done the thing, it feels like. Sure, not much I can do about that at the moment. If we brick, okay. I do not want to use this on the forest. I really want to use the Repel the Vial. But I want to redeploy the Shigeki, because otherwise I'm just wasting a lot of mana. Why am I getting... Oh. Okay, well... Gotta feel bad for your opponent when you get 2 for 1 like that. Definitely wish I used to Repel the Vial, but... Not looking so good. Okay, is there anything I can deploy right now that I really want to? Not really. I kind of want to renewal back 2 cards. I'm gonna have to start turning the screws pretty soon, though, because I'm milling myself 8 cards. Which is a real cost. It's necessary, though, when you just don't draw lands. Or get a creature card. I'm not playing down another Shigeki. They have a removal spell. Something that can only target opponent's creatures. Okay, fair beans. Hard to be that sad about losing that. Right, I'm just trying to get some lands, and then I'm trying to go into a Shigeki loop. So, if I can just 1-for-1 my opponent, they're gonna lose eventually. I don't really care about my life total here. Yet. Maybe I should have Samurai's Oath there instead. I don't think it matters too much. Shigeki's up to an X3. I kind of wanted to play Samurai's Oath, though, and get a Samurai's Oath back. I am going to be looping. Opponent has to really have me on the clock. Yeah, one of the drawbacks to Intercessor's Arrest. I'm not too broken up about it, though. I'm going to shuffle my library anyway, I guess this doesn't matter too much. But I just need to get some pressure on my opponent so that I can start getting into my value loop. Branch of Visage's a little bit awkward. because it means that my Shigeki value is going to be subpar. That's a pretty good card. So what, if I do the Shigeki now instead, what do I get? I don't have to take the season, but I'm going to. Imperial Oath, Repel the Vile, Season of Renewal. Alternatively, I can get a Boseiju cooking instead. I'm going to do the Shigeki. It's way more mana efficient, and it means that I'll stop Jugen from flipping. Also, the opponent might just die. Actually, that's the most likely outcome of this scenario. I can only get one removal spell, though. I don't have a Fade. Okay, opponent has their own Imperial Oath. We can play this game. If I was my opponent, I probably would have scooped by now, unless I have something really powerful in my deck. Not if I'm doing it on camera. Season of Renewal, Imperial Oath, Repel the Vile. Yes, please. Start getting some value online. Get these nasty forests out of my deck. Sure. Not gonna let you have that. That makes big creatures. That's a big creature, though. We're not topping any lands, even though we're down to 12 cards, so... So there is that. And we're going to Imperial Oath again. I want to get this back into my graveyard. Maybe you shouldn't have bottomed that. I don't think it matters too much at the moment. You can either Geothermal Kami or Era of Enlightenment. I kind of want to Geothermal Kami the Fall of Lord Kanda. My opponent's getting very close to just dying if I attack them. Maybe I should have done a Season of Renewal instead. Yeah, I probably should have Seasoned of Renewal instead. More mana efficient. I don't need the Era of Enlightenment down at the moment. Okay, I guess they're good gaming me. I guess they're giving up. Yeah, it was going to be a bit of a longer game, but I think the conclusion was foregone. Well, we managed to scrape through the 7 wins. It was a little bit rocky here and there, but it turned out to be a 7-win deck. Well, this has been a little bit of a departure from the normal From the Depths, which I will get back to soon enough. Later this weekend, I'm going to continue recording From the Depths, but the rain has stopped. It's not a nice day, it's a good enough day, so I'm going to go outside, come back, put this 2.5-hour video. Hopefully I can trim a little bit, but Jesus, this is going to be a long one together. And hopefully you'll enjoy it a little bit as a departure from the usual thing. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the future.